The parents of 7-year-old Gregory Osterman of suburban Streamwood charged that their son suffered irreparable brain damage because of errors in medical care he received shortly after he was born. He underwent surgery for a hernia at Lutheran General Hospital in Park Ridge. His parents charged the brain damage resulted a few days later because a draining tube was reinserted in a dangerous area near the heart, slowing the flow of blood to the baby's brain. Since then, Gregory has been severely retarded.
He really can't do anything. He cannot feed himself. He can't roll over. He can't crawl. He cannot talk. He cannot move his bowels without the help of a suppository. Basically everything. He depends on somebody for all his needs.
Patricia and Thomas Osterman have refused to place their child in an institution. They have 2 other children. They realize the settlement will not make their son normal again, but in a sense, Thomas, a Schaumburg police officer, is relieved.
We're very well satisfied with it, and with the structured settlement, it's taken a lot of relief off of my mind as far as a responsibility, because we know for the rest of Gregory's life that he will have an income for him that will be able to maintain all his needs for his entire life, and versus a lump sum settlement where it may be something where you're going to have to be concerned about projecting what his needs are going to be, and now we just don't have to worry about that with this structured settlement.
The structured settlement is one of the largest ever agreed to. It provides Gregory will receive compensation throughout his lifetime, and if he lives to be 77, he will collect as much as $19.8 million. The Osterman's lawyer, Barry Goldberg, explains the material advantages over a lump sum settlement.
The main advantages are that the tax structure under the Internal Revenue Code are such that the monies that will now be received for the benefit of the caring of this child will not be subject to income tax over 50, 60 years.
The defendants in the suit were the hospital, 6 physicians, and several nurses. Lutheran General Hospital issued a brief statement on the out-of-court settlement. It said the hospital will pay on its behalf and that of its employees $1,786,400 to purchase an annuity for Gregory. It is the interest gained on the annuity purchased should Greg reach the age of 77, which is reflected in reports of the $20 million settlement. The Ostermans believe their plight may be shared by other parents. Initially, they believed that Greg was born retarded, that it was an act of God, until they started asking questions.
If a parent has some concern in regards to what kind of problems and how these problems came about, it's well worth their time to seek out someone who can look into this matter for them. I think their child deserves that from them as a parent, and it's something that they should keep in mind.
Parents aren't always capable of answering that questions, and I think Mr. Goldberg has done a fantastic job for us and for our son.
The resolution of this case is unlike a decision that would be arrived at in a courtroom. This is final. It cannot be appealed. The money will be paid. The settlement was agreed to by both sides just as a jury was being selected to hear the case. As the Ostermans point out, it will not make Gregory normal at all, but at least he will be cared for the rest of his life.
And as they point out further, it's a lesson to all parents to ask questions, not just to take it on face value.
Well, it certainly is an important point that they make, and they began asking questions after several months because they didn't know for sure what had happened to their son. They sought advice, they got it, they retained counsel, and for 5 years they investigated what really happened to Gregory. 26,000 pages of depositions were taken. They went to 11 cities, and finally they got the evidence that they felt something was done to him that was a mistake in the hospital, and the suit was filed. Now it has been settled out of court.
Thank you, Larry.